it's your boy DJ Wolf. Got a couple things on my mind here. I heard that they caught that young boy that killed that 15-year-old kid out here in the DMV. He was shot at the Deanwood Metro in DC over the weekend. And my heart really aches about that. It was a young man, was in the junior ROTC. He went to school, attended school in Largo, not far from my neck of the woods. It's just heartbreaking. I mean, I don't know whether he knew the guy or not. You know, not for me to say. I have no clue. But the point of it was that you shot the young man for nothing. He shot him for nothing. You know, and it really, it says something about our culture that's just not right anymore, man. You know, we worry about, okay, and don't get me wrong, we talk about this quote-unquote Black Lives Matter movement. And my main issue with this Black Lives Matter movement that you're only talking about it when it pertains to police brutality. You don't use it in the same context when it comes to us doing harm to other, you know, when we do harm to each other. I don't understand it. I don't understand the logic behind it at all. I really don't. You know, how come we don't preach the same message within our communities? I never hear it. I never hear it. You know, when it comes to this black on black, when it comes to Black Lives Matter, you're preaching unity. You know, but if we got somebody doing something wrong to somebody in our community, we should go with the same, you know, in other words, we should tackle it from the same measure that we do when we do these Black Lives Matter movement tactics. That's all I'm saying. You know, because I kind of feel like we're selling ourselves short when we don't address the issue of the violence that's within our communities, especially a lot of the senseless violence. Well, violence is violence. I mean, we don't, but you know, it's just funny. You know, you're not. I kind of feel like we're selling ourselves short. We want community policing. We want police to be in the presence of our communities when we need them. And by the same token, you know, you're saying that, and I hear a lot of guys say, "Oh, cops are bad. Cops are bad." No, all cops are not bad any more than all black people are bad. All black people are bad. Now, let's be real. I had a discussion with a coworker yesterday about this very about that shooting death of that 15-year-old boy. All right. Of course, her being white, what's the first thing white people always say when it comes to a shooting of a black person? Be it armed or unarmed, be it guilty or innocent. What's the first goddamn thing they say? Excuse my French. I'm waiting. Was he involved with the gang? Yeah. And you know what I told her? It doesn't matter. He had that dude had no business shooting that boy. Period. It just pisses me off, man. I'm like, you know, it really pisses me off because she didn't think for one moment, you know, that he could have been innocent anyway. No. First thing she says, was he involved in the gang? So you automatically assume because he was black that he was automatically involved with a gang. That's typical. This is so atypical of white people. And I don't mean to bash white people, but in this case, yes, because I've actually talked to white people like that, who come up with the same mentality that if you're black and you're shot and you're in the, somebody targets you and you don't know why, the first thing they think, oh, gang related. They couldn't think that they might just be innocent. That, I mean, honestly, to me, that was as racist as anything I've ever heard in my life. What is this fool doing? No, we're not doing that, man. You should have gave up there yesterday, fool. Seriously, I hate when they do that. You had all day to get over. You had all day. You just sitting there. I'm trying to get home. But like I said before, it's just so racist to me. First thing she said, was he involved in a gang? I'm telling the woman the story, the exact same story that they've been saying about the news all weekend. He was an ROTC student, all right? He went to Largo High School, all right? The family said they didn't know of any involvement that he had with anybody. The dude walked up to him, and he said, "What's up?" Boy said nothing. And the dude said, "I'm going to shoot you." And he shot him. But then I heard a different story. They said it was slightly different from that. I said the boy had looked at the guy, and the guy actually was bothered by him looking at him, and then he shot him. But in any case, like I said, it bothers me just as bad when I hear a white person just automatically assuming because a black person got shot or a young person, black person got shot, that they were involved in a gang. They do it every damn time. And it to me, it's just as offensive as what happened. I just like, really? So if you're white and you would have been in the same scenario and somebody approached you, be it black or white, you wouldn't have made that same assumption. That's just a fact. You would have never made that same assumption if they were black. I know for a fact you wouldn't have. But because it was a young black kid, you make that assumption. My heart goes out to the family of this young boy, because at least he was trying to do something with his life. But it hurts me that the fact that he just got shot just because he looked at the guy. I mean, really? It's just some ignorant motherfuckers in the world. I got to go street this time on this. It's some ignorant motherfuckers in this world. I swear to God. And at some point, we need a real wake-up call. We need a Negro wake-up call for real, because this is out of control. I mean, we aren't even barely through the first week of spring, and shit like this is already going on. In 2016, I've been told in the past, over the years, that I was antisocial. Now, I finally understand 2016, at the age of 51, why I'm kind of like that. Because the way we treat each other. The way we treat each other in our culture, man. It's just so downright disrespectful, man. We ain't got no love. We ain't got no love for nobody, man. In this culture. You get, it's the same scenario. I've talked about it over and over and over and over again. And we keep doing the same dirt to each other, man. You ain't got enough respect to just go ahead and move on. People just do stupid shit, man, over and over again. We don't, and I know part of it is because we don't, people don't raise it. I mean, let's be real. People ain't raising the kids right. People ain't taking care of the kids. Men aren't, some of the so-called men aren't taking the responsibility to raise the kids right. Some of us. And yeah, I'm saying that. And some of these women are having multiple kids out of will, like it's supposed to be a lifestyle. It shouldn't be. That's another thing. Years ago, when young mothers were having kids out of wedlock left and right, they would be shunned. You know, they would be talked about. You know, you at least would address it. Today, it's like it's a welcome. You know, I mean, they actually welcome it. You know? Now, granted, it's not the kid's fault that they're in that situation. But damn sure it's somebody's fault. I know that. Now, let's be honest about that. I mean, really. Let's just get out of fucking control. It's somebody's fault. It's somebody's fault. You know? And like I said again, you know, black people say, oh, well, you know, because I was told that. You know, my father told me that years ago. I mean, I was going home at one point twice a year, okay, when he told me this. Matter of fact, that one year he told me I went home 3-4 times that year. And my dad still told me this. What he told me was something I know a lot of people here who had left the neighborhoods. And one of the things he told me was that you got to slow down. You forgot where you came from. This is what he told me back in 2006. And I'm like, was it 2006? It was 2005. That same year, I went home 3 times and then went to a family reunion down south. How? Excuse my French, and I'm being honest, but I got to be honest about this. How the fuck you gonna think I forgot where I came from? Been home every year, send money home. You know, call my folks often. You know, keep in contact with my parents. You know, my family. And just for you to tell me that bullshit, yeah. A couple of things come to play on that. One reason some people say that is because they're jealous. That I know for a fact. Jealousy. Pure out. That's what there's traffic today. Pure out plain jealousy. They see that you made something of yourself, and you know that your chances of doing it in the hood, depends on what you're trying to do, was going to be slim to none. Okay? They knew that. And because I've had a couple people tell me that, you know. Oh, look at you, all family, you know. I'm like, really? I ain't doing nothing any special than anybody else. I'm not rich. I don't make a lot of money. I really don't. You know, I do all okay. I'm not, that's nothing to me that says, I'm living on a hill. You know, drive Mercedes-Benz. I don't even drive Mercedes. I don't even drive anything that's not American. You know, and if it is, it's not, you know, it ain't no top of the line. I can tell you that right now. Nothing ain't close. But what I'm saying is, it's funny how we, you know, talk a good game about, well, you need to do something with your life, and you need to do this and do that. Then when you do it, you get put down again. You get put down when you try to do something. When you don't try to do nothing, then you get put down when you try to do something. I'm like, really? And like I said again, one of the things people say, oh, you forgot where you came from. No, bro. I ain't forget shit. I go home every year. Okay? I skipped 1 year, but that was for other reasons. But I go home every year. Alright? Every year. Alright? So that's not an issue. I go visit my folks. That's what stay. Hang out with them, stay with them 3-4 days, 5 days. You know? We go do a few things. But to sit there and say I forgot where I came from is atrocious. Because people who forgot where they came from never talk to their parents, never go home, they never visit, and they never send home money. I do all the above. Okay? So, to sit there and say that is complete bullshit. You know, it's more jealousy. And that's part of the reason why a lot of people don't go home. A lot of people, I'll tell you one of the reasons why a lot of people, I know it's from personal experience. A lot of reasons why a lot of people don't bother, to go back to where they came from as far as moving back, because of things that happened to them when they were living there before they got to where they got to be. They were hurt. You know? People got to take advantage of. People were abused physically and mentally and sexually in some cases. People like that, sometimes some people won't go back for some of those various reasons. You know? When you lived in the hood and you came there, sometimes going back home ain't always the best thing for you. You know? But I already know the other reasons why they want you to go back. They figure, oh, you have made it now you can bring the money home to us. No. Nah. You know. Because all they're going to do is cause a lot of drama. I know that. You know. And some of those people who ask about why, don't about now forget where you came from, are the very people who really are jealous of you anyway, and they think you owe them something. You know, I had a friend of mine. She passed away many years ago, and she told me, I'll never forget this. She said, quote, the only thing you owe your parents, I mean, not to say that you shouldn't help your parents out whenever you needed to, but she was telling me in general, the only thing you owe your parents, folks, is respect. Outside to help them out monetarily. That's it. And she was kind of right about that. You know, you got ballers who go out there, raise them, their mama raised them and 4 or 5 other siblings, and they turn around, buy them a house, and they want more, then they want more, then they want more, then they want more. That happened with, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I heard a story, and I'm not going to say, I don't know if it'd be a fact, but I heard a story about a very well-known comedian whose mom did him like that. That's all I'm going to say about that. And she kept wanting more. I guess the story was he didn't really want much to do with her. I don't know. I guess they had some bad blood that went on between them or whatever. But I've heard stories about NFL players who went through the same stuff with their mothers. You know, what they was doing for them was not enough. And in some cases, some of the moms would mess with some old dickhead dudes, which is part of the reason why some of them guys cut the folks off because of shit like that. You know. But in any case, like I said before, sometimes you can't always go back to where you came from. You like to go back, but it ain't gonna be the same. People ain't gonna act right. Then all of a sudden they're gonna start hating on you, be jealous of you and everything else. And then they think you own something. I ain't talking about the folks, I'm talking about people who you grew up around. Man, you and me, man, we was cool. That bullshit, no. You can't always go back. You may go back to visit, but you can't always go back to stay. Put it like that. So, also, speaking of money, but I tried to get to it yesterday. Russell Wilson this year, I read, are not, I repeat, not going to have a prenup. Why the hell they wouldn't have a prenup is beyond me. I know love is blind, but damn, dude, you're worth millions. Sarah, hey, you still got fledgling recording career. Why would you two not want a prenup? But from what I was reading, they said they feel getting a prenup would jinx the relationship. Well, being broke would jinx everything else too, so I'm just saying. But honestly, dude, with that kind of money, you should get a prenup, Russell Wilson. I'm telling you right now, I would not want to be married to any woman without a prenup. Consider you were married before. Wolf. Any questions or comments? Anything that's on your mind? Anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to talk about? What I'm talking about right now? Give me a holler at foralltohere@gmail.com. Foralltohere or is that foralltohere TV? I'm sorry. And at foralltohere on Twitter. All right, guys. I got more sitting on the back burner. Traffic out here tonight. It's crazy. It's a Tuesday. Yeah, cherry blossoms and all that stuff going on. So, talk to you boy later.